What's going on, guys? Welcome back to the channel for another installment of the 3 to T series, where I'm attempting to play through and showcase to you guys as many courses as I can. All the awesome, beautiful, amazing courses that keep coming up on GSPRO. But as the name implies, playing 3 holes per course, usually 1, 9, and 18, which we are in fact doing here today from an aforementioned really nice, really beautiful, really well done designed. Not the easiest. I've seen people play this on the SGT Tour this week. This is my first time loading it up, which looks absolutely awesome. But we are doing CE SIMGOLF's debatably, undebatably, the GOAT of GSPRO course design. In any event, we're doing CE SIMGOLF's latest creation, which is called Royal New Kent in Providence Forge, Virginia, USA. If you guys aren't aware, CE SIMGOLF, because he does such an awesome job, he's actually the only designer that GSPRO has kind of brought in-house to do official courses. I'm not sure where this one falls in terms of official GSPRO courses or not. I don't know if all of his now or not. I kind of remember him saying something, this was a bit of a passion project possibly. But I don't know, sometimes I get mixed up. In any event, holes 1, 9, and 18, we're going to try to be even par. Not feeling the best here today. Some tired, cold, wet day here in New England, but we'll see how we do. As far as the settings, I didn't change anything, so it looked like it loaded up to me what seems like it would be close to how CE SIMGOLF wants it to be played, but we are doing firm fairways, soft greens, 11 stimp, furthest back tees at 7.419 in terms of the yardage, so just shy of 7,500 yards. Thursday pins, because CE SIMGOLF is notorious. He was disagreeing a little bit in our Twisted Designer Cup, but notorious for not always the easiest pin placements in the world. So I did pick Thursday, make it a little bit easier. It did load up on Sunday, but some of his pin locations were a little crazy. But course elevation at 112 feet, 10-foot gimmies, calm wind, and I do have the auto aim turned on for putting just to make things a bit quicker because I do need to get a couple videos recorded today. So without further ado, as you can tell, hopefully my computer's doing it justice. I had a couple of stutters and a couple of lags on the range. Hopefully that won't affect it here, although this is a new and really well done, intricate, detailed course. So if we get any lag, it's more probably about my computer and it probably needs a restart than it is the course. But let's go ahead and take a look at the flyover. First hole, par 4, 397. Not for 7,500 yards, not the craziest first hole in terms of distance, but I mean, you can just see how realistic, how good the grass looks, the deep rough, the trees. It literally looks like we're doing a flyover if we were watching a video. Granted, I get reminded by a good amount of people that my projector is not the best, my screen's not the best, and although I have a 4070 in my laptop, I am running on 1080p. So all that to say, not everything looks the best here and the most clear, but from my end, this looks really well done, and you can see the different colors in the grass, kind of some more brownish spots, contrast really well with the deep rough, the hills. Again, you can kind of tell certain designers where it looks similar to another course. So again, I'm getting kind of some vibes of obviously the hills course, Tobacco Road, not quite as many bunkers, but kind of a similar feel in how some of the colors look and whatnot. But let's see what we can do. Try to shoot even par and get something out here. Aim there. Hopefully it draws. Only hit a couple warm-up shots on the range. That was my last one, which was a pretty sizable draw. So I don't hate the ball speed in the distance, but if we do that here, a lot of deep rough to get into trouble on. Oh man, and then it just goes dead straight with -1 RPM of side spin. That's going to be deep rough. I hit it halfway decent, felt pretty good. Speed's going to be a little bit lower today, but good look at the course here. Look how good the deep rough in these bushes and trees look. It was a draw. Unfortunately, I aimed up the right. I thought I was going to draw more, protecting against the duck hook, and it went dead straight. So if I knew I was going to do that, I would have aimed straight. Any event, 293 into the crapola here in the deep rough, 13 degrees down. How far do we have? 142 up 7, so 149. with the downslope and the deep rough, that's going to be another 28, almost 30 yards. So we're up to like 180. I'm going to hit not quite at full pop. I'm hitting a 6-iron, and we'll see how this comes out with the deep rough. Usually, if I spend a little more time in the range, maybe I'd hit a 7, but we'll see. Try to run it up and give ourselves hopefully a look to try to save par. Oh, I towed it. Run, run, firm, run. And that's probably going to come back. Bad strike. Didn't deserve it. Thought I may have a chance to run up there, but we are hitting 3 if it would stop. So all that, I hit it 167. That was a pretty poor 6-iron strike. But 167 raw. We got 88 in the game, and all said and done, after up that hill and down the hill, we got 106 total. Leaves us with 38 up 6. So we're playing 44 soft green, so we can get it pretty close to that. So looking anywhere probably in the neighborhood of about 40, 45-ish. That's probably going to have to go. 35. All right. Thought we were going to get lucky there, catch a fringe bounce if it was firm, but looks like we did not. We have a putt for par, 19 feet, playing 24. A little sloppy here to start it off in terms of the play. Come on. Felt like a decent roll. Oh, wow. Some of those, that's another one. So, like, I pulled it a touch, and it was too fast. I don't know. Some of those auto-aim lines have me scratching my head a little bit on some of them. Some of them seems like they would react differently based on how I hit it. But in any event, 1 over through 1. Second hole, 9th hole, par 4, 396. I mean, again, just how, assuming that's the clubhouse up there, how realistic it looks with all the different colors, kind of the gradient shading, the cart path. Again, I'm not by any means a designer and have a super good eye for this stuff, but I've just played a lot of stuff, and for how good the sky looks realistic, just really, really well done. But again, I've kind of been saying this. You would expect, or not that you expect, but you would assume so, and you just think when you see a CE Sim Golf, at least I do, when you see a new CE Sim Golf course, you just know it's going to look absolutely unreal. As far as the layout for this, where the heck are we going? I think that's like close to the middle-ish. Hopefully we carry that deep rough. Really, really well done, though. Definitely worth, if you guys haven't played. Some of you, or I assume most of you watching this, probably play the SGT Tour, and you probably did this as soon as the CE Sim Golf course comes out. Seems like pretty much all the tours go and have their event there. But a lot of people have probably played it. Whether you liked it in terms of how difficult the course was, I guess, is a different point. But in terms of graphics, I think it's pretty inarguable. This course looks absolutely unreal. All right, 270, a little spinny, but that should carry that stuff. We'll take that. Based on mainly my right shoulder, like the back of my shoulder blade, but based on how my shoulder's been feeling, I didn't think that was going to happen. So we'll take that. Although a little spinny, we will take 270. Not quite 160 mile an hour ball speed, but we'll take that all day long for 295. Now, if we can just cash in on a halfway decent drive, 94 up to 99. One's going to push it a little bit left. It's going to come out right. Soft greens. Another one of those CE Sim Golf. It's a Thursday pin, too. Granted, it's not super crazy with the slope, but another one of those crazy pin positions. He was cracking me up. If you guys didn't catch it, it was me and Flying Fat Kid versus SIMGOLF and the other Hosel Rocket, who were both ballers in terms of golf players. But we were playing the course. It was cracking us up that SIMGOLF is notoriously known for putting kind of some pins like this. And like every single hole, he was saying, I mean, look at this pin. It's up on a hill. Look at this pin. It was funny. Anyways, 95-ish. $98, maybe. We'll take it. Decent swing. Because I'm still kind of warming up here, just kind of swinging smooth, but pretty happy with that. A little too much on it, but that was, if it was, I mean, really wasn't much of a miss. It was a pretty good shot, but if it's going to be a miss, pretty good miss there, and we'll take that. Leaves us with a 10-footer playing about 6 for birdie. All right, we got it to go. Back to even. There we are so far. Bogey. Wow, look at this hole with the water. Just so well done. I wish obviously my projector was a little more vibrant so I could get more out of this and see really the true colors of it. But even this, unfortunately the shade, super realistic with the sun coming from the shade. That has to do with kind of the time of day, but looks super realistic. Unfortunately for me and my projector, it'll look a little bit better on the screen from what you guys are seeing for the video, but a little bit darker on my end. But awesome looking hole, awesome looking course. Highly recommend checking this one out if you guys haven't. But bogey, then birdie, so we are even par through 2. Third and final hole, 18th hole, par 4, 4-6-6. Starting to get a little more distance now to some of these holes, but as long as we carry the water, I mean, just look how picturesque and realistic with all the different, like the kind of burnt out, almost brownish spots over there. Wow, this is an insane hole. We may have multiple water balls here. As long as I hit it halfway decent off this tee, that's a pretty wide landing spot, but that's a tricky second shot for sure. Either force carry into that peninsula, or even if you're going left, that's a pretty narrow landing spot with OB on the left up there and water on the right. So I guess we'll cross that bridge, no pun intended, when we get there. But first and foremost, try to hopefully hit another drive that's about 270 out there in the air. Would be nice. Oh, towed it. That's not great. All right, we may play this like a par 5. Because although, I mean, it's not trying to shoot a score necessarily. I know you guys didn't really come here to see me lay up, but we're 237 out of a bunker. I can try to hit 3-wood once. If that doesn't work, I guess I can still hit 3-wood, maybe aim left. Realistically, if this was SGT Tour or I was trying to shoot a score, I'd probably be just laying up to probably about here and hit, I don't know, pitching wedge 9-iron somewhere, maybe even over here. But for the sake of the video, it's going to come out left. We'll see if we can carry it. We'll give ourselves at least a little bit of margin of error, because if this plays 10% out of here, that's an extra 23. So at least on this line, if it draws, maybe it has a chance to get out of there. Although, halfway decent chance here. No matter what I do with this 3-wood, even if I absolutely flush it, it may just catch this this lip here because this looks pretty steep. But see what happens. Oh, man. I hit that good, too. That would have worked out really nice. That was 147 ball speed, 235 raw with a baby draw, and we got 8 yards out of it instead. However, opens the door now to pull off another hero shot possibly. So, 206, semi-rough here. This is nice. That's kind and generous from Mr. CE SimGolf. We'll hit a 4-iron, not try to get cute. Hopefully this does in fact carry. At full pop, out of the semi-rough, a little bit downhill. I would think 4-iron would be enough, but I guess we'll see. Not that one. That's wet. Toe chunk. Wow, it's dry, but still pretty bad. Now, the question is, we're right behind a rock. Is this going to hit the rock? Making a mess out of this final hole. What are we hitting? 4 into a 4? Wow, this is... So, although we are on... Kind of crazy if you notice. My scroll is probably down there. Take my word for it. As I'm clicking around here, the amount of like you would think the ball is where it is, but like where I'm aiming here, it's changing my lie. So right now it's like 17 degrees up and 5.9 left. If I click over here, 21 degrees up and 2 degrees right. I wonder if that was a new thing with the GSPRO update. In any event, we're 22 degrees up. We're literally right up against the rock, so I don't know if we have much of a shot. There's a very decent likelihood that this ricochets right off the rock behind us into the water. But because we are 22 degrees up and we're already hitting 4 into a 4, I'm just going to hit a 60 degree and hopefully with the amount of 22 degrees up and the loft of my 60 degree and the fact that these max fly tri-flies fly a little higher, hopefully it gets up and out of here. So 20% is only going to be another 3. We're going to try to hit this about 15 or 20. Okay, take 2. I mean, that thing had a 47 VLA on top of the 20 degrees of up. Still just no chance out of there. That's pretty cool, though, because, I mean, honestly, frustrating if you're trying to shoot a score, but realistically, your ball does end up on stuff like that in a real course where you're right up against a rock, and you either have to take a stroke, punch it out sideways. That one I just got aggressive, but does play accurate. 22 or 23, uphill, out of the rough. Try to fly at about the number. Oh, 14 degrees right. So that's a good example there. Big Dog always says that. So I aimed left. I even pulled it, but it kind of ended up right where I aimed. Big Dog has a theory on those because that launched at about 45, 46 VLA, which does kind of make sense. Big Dog has a theory that those shorter ones, although that was a crazy amount of right side slope, it was 14.5 degrees that was going to shoot out to the right. On those shots that you're popping up in the air so quick, it just gets up in the air and vertical and kind of holds its line a lot quicker than it's able to have it get affected from the lie. So that was a good example there. On some of those, I would recommend not going as crazy in terms of aiming because it does kind of just come out straight. But in any event, a little bit of everything there in terms of the scorecards. So from Royal New Kent in Providence Forge, Virginia, USA, designed by the one and only CE SimGolf. Absolutely awesome job per usual. We ended up 2 over through the 3 holes. So bogey on 1, got it back on 9 with a birdie, and then we gave it all back again and then some with a double on 18. If we take a look at the stats here, no pars, 1 birdie, 1 bogey, 1 double. Not great. 295, longest drive. Ball speed is going to be the same because we only hit 1 out of 3 fairways. 19 feet of putting, 4 putts, 20 minutes on the gameplay, 1 out of 3 greens regulation, 1 out of 3 fairways. And there you have it. So, highly recommend checking it out if you guys haven't. You've probably seen a bunch of people playing this, a bunch of videos of it, but if you happen to not try it yet, I highly recommend it. So, shout out to the members. I'm going to go ahead and wrap this one up. You can see everyone's name scrolling down below. Really appreciate the additional support. If anyone has any course requests, please let me know down below. And that's going to do it. So, like I always say, don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe, and I'll see you guys in the next one.